Yeah, I mean, and they probably assume you're gay or like, you know, the whole white knighting, like, oh, a guy that's, you know, friends with women without sleeping with them, it's because he can't get with them. Because people are sexually repressed. Guys are sexually repressed, and they, yeah, you know it. You know it. You guys aren't like that. So Zan says, every time I've heard men and women can't be friends and it's all about sex has been from a woman. My theory is that that comes from men being inappropriate because men have been raised to believe that if you are of the opposite gender and, you know, assuming you're hetero, that it's impossible to not be a pervert to the woman. And so I think it makes sense for a woman to be the one to say that. Especially since there's a lot of guys in denial. Like the whole fucking, hey, can I have your number? Oh, sorry, I'm married. I mean, you shouldn't even say sorry, but no, I'm married. Oh, you have friends? Like, just this self-delusion that so many guys have. Like, yeah, it totally makes sense to me that women would be the ones to say that they can't be friends. And honestly, it's up to the guys to disprove that. More guys need to not be fucking perverts around women if you want to, you know, if you believe that it's possible for men to be friends with women without men being pervy at them, you gotta live by example and not just be like telling women like, well, I can be your friend without wanting to sleep with you. It's like, okay, demonstrate it. Be a friend with a woman without making weird comments all the time and blah, blah, blah. Like, again, refer to my history as a girl gamer my whole life and, like, all the awkward situations that I was always in with guys where they wouldn't flat out say that they wanted to date me, and it would have been really awkward if they did, too, because I did not have any attraction to them. But they would act really shitty anytime I did show an interest in somebody else. They'd be like, oh, he's stupid, or blah, blah, blah. Like, I wasn't ever allowed to just, like somebody. Certainly not when I express liking a guy. So, yeah. I think you're right the first time. It's from movies and books and just about every story ever told about men and women. Well, that's why I get so mad at fucking Tall Girl. Like, that's a recent movie with a pervy guy who won't take no for an answer and carries around a milk crate so he can stand up and kiss her without her bending down. Hello, that's pathetic. And he gets her in the end. And I'm just like, God fucking damn it, Netflix. Anyway. I feel bad. I honestly feel bad for men who are so locked into the idea that they can't possibly be friends with women, that they're cutting themselves off from, like, all these great, you know, friendships they could be having. Like, it's just sad. Toxic masculinity, man. It hurts everybody. Hurts men, women, non-binary, hurts everybody. So don't fall into toxic masculinity. Don't tell yourself that even if you're sexually attracted to someone, you can still be honest friends with them, you know. And one of the things is, like, it's this self-perpetuating cycle where you're attracted to someone and you tell yourself, like, oh, I can't be friends with them because I'm attracted to them. So you're just going to keep making it worse. A lot of times, even if you're attracted to someone, you just hang out with them as a friend and you make sure you don't act inappropriate. And, like, it gets easier. It gets easier to just be genuine friends with them because you're not so, like, ugh. And if you honestly are miserable because you really, really want to have sex with them and they don't share your interest, you might have to just drop that friendship, because no one wants to be pressured into sex, despite what, you know, common theory is, like, oh, if you just keep pressing her, eventually she'll say yes, which is rapey and horrible. Nobody wants to get pressured into sex. And why? I don't know. I feel like if you want to have sex, wouldn't you want to have sex with someone who actually wants to have sex with you? Why would you, pester somebody until they have sex with you? Why wouldn't you? But again, I don't know. I'm not a lonely guy who, like, you know, has a really hard time finding someone to have sex. It's an ugly process, because putting all the onus on women to say yes to you instead of, like, working on yourself, being nicer, if you really want to, you know, going to the gym or whatever. But I don't think it really takes that. I think it really just takes not being a douchebag. But not being a douchebag and not, you know, only wanting to have sex with supermodels. That's another thing that can get in the way.